Yo, what up? It's your boy, Mr. Lucario, the bad boy. The dating game was popping. So there's a couple of videos I've seen on YouTube and different sites of guys going up to girls and put it like they'll go up to a girl and they'll give her their phone and they'll say, "Hey, could you put your number in my phone?" And then the girls put the number in the phone. And then they go to another girl, "Hey, put your number in my phone." And then the girls put the number in the phone. And and it's funny because I see a lot of the comments on these videos, and the guys are like, "Oh my God, that's so amazing! How could you do that? And that's awesome! And you must be having a lot of sex." And blah, blah. And I'm just like, it's funny because getting a girl's number is easy. That shit is easy. Okay, that means getting her number does not equate to you fucking her. If you guys do not understand this, it's gonna it's gonna be a little hard for you to have sex with chicks, because a lot of times what happens is that girls, they'll give you the number because they're attention whores. They'll give you the number just to get rid of you because they're like, "Oh, whatever, here, take my number." They'll give you the number because they have they actually have a boyfriend, but they're just like, they want you to call them up for just to so they can feel good about themselves. So that's another like attention whore thing. And a lot of times girls will give you the number just to give it to you and forgot they gave it to you. So you end up calling a girl and you're like, "Hey, what's up?" She's like, "Who's this?" "Oh, remember I was who?" You know what I mean? Like, so it's not just about getting a girl's number, because you can get girls' numbers all day and never see these chicks again. And I talk about this in my book, The Magnificent 10 Crucial Dating Tips for Men. There's a chapter in there where I'll talk about getting a girl's number isn't enough. See, the thing is that you still also have to, like, because the thing is, you can get girls' numbers, call them up, and get on dates, whatever. I'm not saying that won't happen, but what's going to make things more efficient for you is, while you're talking, you have to actually have some sort of interaction with the girl to make you and her, and make the interaction that you had something that's memorable, so she remembers who the fuck you are, feel something in that interaction, so when you actually call her, like, she's looking forward to you calling her. Or if you tell her to call you, she's looking forward to calling you. Like, there's something that happened between you two, or there was some type of connection or something that happened where she's going to remember who you are or want to, like, see you again. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, there are certain cases where you can say, "Give me your number," and then she might think you're, cute or something, and then want to see you off of that. That can happen once in a blue moon. But most times, if you just go up to a girl and say, "Hey, give me your number," and she gives you the number, it's like you're one of how many guys she gave her number to that day? So imagine 15, let's say something small, like 15 guys gave a number to this chick, or she gave her number to 15 guys, right? And you're one of those 15 guys. Do you think she's going to remember who you are when you call? Or think about it like this. Let's say 15 guys gave her number, she gave her number to. And let's say 14 of those guys just said, "Hey, put your number in my phone." And then you're the 15th guy who went up to her. And let's say y'all talked for at least 2 or 3 minutes. And, you were joking around with her, and you said, like, "Oh, you have funny ears. You must be Will Smith's daughter or something, because you got big ears," or whatever, right? And then she laughs and y'all joke about that or whatever, right? Now, when you call her, she most likely will remember who you were, because y'all had that little exchange. And I'm just using that as an example. So the little exchange separates you from the other 14 guys who just gave her the number and didn't really have no really like exchange with her. You understand what I'm saying? So in certain cases, she might be thinking about you more than the other guys, and more likely might be anticipating you calling her more than the other guys. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's not just about getting a girl's number. You can just go and get a girl's number and, things could happen. But a lot of times the reason why a lot of guys get a lot of flakes or a lot of chicks, not responding to them is because there was nothing in that interaction that made any type of like connection for her to want to really see you again. Because you got to remember, chicks, they're not like us. If we see a hot chick, we're just like, oh, this chick got a fat ass. We think about her ass all day and how much you want to fuck it. And yeah, we trying to see her again. You understand? But women are all about their, it's feelings, it's emotions. It's about, oh, how am I, feeling at this moment with this guy? So if you're creating a situation where good feelings are happening, I also talk about this in my book, How to Have Sex with Two Women a Day, so make sure you pick that up at mrlocario.com. If you create something where she's feeling something in that situation, right? When you call, first of all, she most likely might be anticipating you calling her. And then, so when you call, those feelings are going to come back up again, and then that vibe is there, and then that will make her want to see you again. So imagine you have, that exchange with her, that little exchange with her, versus you not really having any type of exchange and just you just say, here, take my card and call me, or here, give me your number. Because in these videos, the guys, they'll just go walk up to the girl and say, hey, could you put your number in my phone? And the girl's like, okay, whatever. And she puts a number in the phone. So it's like, so imagine you did that versus you actually stood there. And I'm not saying you got to talk to girls for like 20 minutes or whatever, or have some deep intellectual thing going on, conversation. No, but like, when you're up there having, talking to the girl, you have to have some sort of situation or create some experience for her to have her anticipate getting more of that experience. It's like if, I go to a lot of networking parties, and a lot of times at a networking party, people giving out their cards here and there. And the people that I remember the most are the people who I actually, had some sort of like, interesting conversation with, or we spoke about something that interest me, or we like, let's say for example, I'm like, I run a media company, and they're like, oh, I do promotions for this, and we can exchange information and help each other out on these things. I remember that person because we've had that exchange, and something, clicked there that was beneficial or useful to me. Do you understand? So it's the same thing with these chicks, is that when you're, she needs to feel that feeling of having, saying like, oh, this guy, something about this guy might, increase the value of my life or some shit, or something about him makes me want to see him again. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's just like, I might get a whole bunch of business cards at a networking event, but the people that I, remember the most is the ones that I had that exchange with. You know what I'm saying? So, when you talk to, so the thing is, when you talk to girls and when you're exchanging numbers and getting numbers, try to, at least have a little conversation. It could be like a minute or two. It doesn't, you don't have to stay there all day talking to a girl. But, in these videos, the guys are just walking up to the chicks, hey, give me a number. It doesn't really necessarily equate to, her wanting to fuck you. You understand what I'm saying? Her wanting to see you again. And not saying that, you just telling the girl, give me a number, and then, that's it, won't, make her want to see you again. But I'm saying that it'll increase your chances of her calling you back, her seeing you again, if you actually have some sort of exchange while you are getting the number or giving her your number. All right? So that's all I wanted to say about that. If you guys have any questions, hit me up at askmrlocario@gmail.com. You click that link below, send me your questions. I'll make a video about it. I'll email you about it. Whatever you want to do, holla at me, and we will get it popping. All right? So it's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. I'm out of here. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace.
Master the game by joining dating and life coach Mr. Locario live in New York City on Friday, May 15th at So Techie Spaces for his new seminar, Reclaim the Game. Mr. Locario has some exclusive new realistic approaches to the dating game that will help you be successful with women. Purchase your tickets at MrLocario.com. Space is extremely limited, so pick up your tickets today at MrLocario.com. That's MrLocario.com. MrLocario.com.